Hello, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, subscribe and stay a while. We'd love to have you. I have 3 journals here for sale up on my Etsy shop. I'm really excited about these. I put a lot of time and effort and thought into them. I'm starting with the pictures. These I got from an old vintage book from the 1800s about children and farm life and stuff like that, outdoors and stuff like that. And I found those on Google Books. That is definitely something you would want to check out if you enjoy hunting for vintage images. So I saved the images, and then they were black and white, and I really wanted to color them up. So using my iPad Pro, I recolored the images. I pretty much painted them in Procreate on my iPad Pro, and I'm no master, but I really like how they came out. Like I said, they were just black and white. So let's get into them quickly. You can just click the Etsy link below. Each of them have a name, and I'll tell you that so you'll know which one to click on if that's the one you want. So let's start with this one. This one is called Girl's Best Friend. And you can see here there's this beautiful old dog house and a mama dog and a puppy dog. And then I have some buttons down here, and this is a really pretty paper. And then there's a cross stitch using upholstery thread to sew in 2 signatures. And then there's beads sewn in as well. Ribbon closure. And there's, oh gosh, how many pages? I think there's like 68 pages, somewhere around there, 60, 70 pages. So here's a little front pocket with a little Tsunami Rose card and some fabric down here. This is from a 1950s encyclopedia, and this is about dogs. Some Tim Holtz paper, and I printed on the back of the Tim Holtz paper. I've been adding extra paper clips. Here's a little double tag. My boys. Sometimes they just get so tickled and they're loud. Anyway, yeah. Here's a Tsunami Rose calendar with some lace, a garment pin, and a bead. They're always double as loud when I'm doing a video. So here's a washi frame. This is from VectoriaDesigns, and some stamping and more dog pages. Here's an adorable little dog. I got most of my dog images from the Old Design Shop and the Graphics Fairy. I believe this is Old Design Shop. And then here's a little card. You can put photos or whatever you want in there. Beautiful coffee-dyed paper, scrapbook paper. This is from VectoriaDesigns. Look at the little dog paper clip. And then this is just a journaling. It's just a paper folded in thirds. And then here's a little print of like a vintage toys. And there's like a dog and cow and horse, and there's sewn onto scrapbook paper, stamping, and there's a little vintage receipt print. And I think this is from Graphics Fairy. Here's a tuck spot, the girl with her dogs, and then a Tim Holtz vocabulary card. Try to get through this quickly. This is really neat from an old book I found online, and this is like a composition of colors. This is Friendship, and then here's a Tim Holtz journaling card, and on this garment pin there is a green jingle bell and a little puppy dog. So, get those to lay right. More stamping, and then this is from Junk That Treasures. It's a weekly time record. Beautiful little girl with her dog. Little collage, and here's like a receipt. A vintage printout of a receipt on coffee-dyed paper. And then this is the little girl's dad and their dog. And then this is September. And, of course, I glued it in there. This says September. And since September is coming up, I thought that might be appropriate. Here's a little tuck spot. Adorable little girl and her dog. And there's a little tag here. And then behind here's a large tag I made. Stamping and parchment paper. Here's a little flip up. Of course, I'm inspired by Amity Bloom for that. Here's a little corner tuck spot. More beautiful ephemera that I've sewn together. And then here's a Ledger ATC card from VectoriaDesigns. Cute little puppy dog. And this is some pieces of ephemera and vintage things, printouts, and so forth. Washi, there's another little dog. So that color composition was a color note from Leaves on a Tree, and I just thought that was really cool. And then in the back here, here's a coffee dyed journaling spot, as well as a pocket with some coffee dyed pattern paper. So that's this one, Girl's Best Friend. And then next we have Make Way for the Ducklings. And here's a little girl, and she's feeding these little ducklings, and there's really pretty fabric here. And then this, I have upholstery thread stitched in here, as well as some wooden heart buttons. Again, it's a ribbon closure. Okay, in the front we have a Tsunami Rose calendar, and then a glassine bag from Junk That Treasures, and a little Tsunami Rose piece of ephemera. Here's also from Junk That Treasures. I turned it into this little pocket thing, and here's a little index card with a bead. Here's a little chalkboard journaling card, game cards, and all sorts of stuff. Book pages about ducks, Tim Holtz paper, flip out journaling and stamping, and so much, so much. Beautiful. Here's another flip up. I love that fabric. Here's a little book plate. And I made, this is a Tsunami Rose tag, and then I added some cheesecloth and this little chipboard piece. My boys, oh my gosh. Oh, they're watching something on TV, and every time it tickles his fancy, he's like, ah! So yeah, sorry about that. I got this idea, I think it was Gypsy Rose Papery. I've been doing that a lot. Here's some extra paper clips. You can paper clip things in. There's a paper ribbon, coffee dyed paper, deck paper. This is a Tsunami Rose, and I turned it into a text spot. And then here's a little cloud die cut, and it says make time for, and then I added all these little raindrops, little rhinestone raindrops. Really pretty. Washi. And then here's a little fabric pocket with a little journaling page. More stamping. There's a little ribbon up there. Another ATC card. More ducks. There's a little girl. That's a Graphic 45 stamp. And then I made this little envelope, stitched it up, and then inside there's some ephemera. There's some Tim Holtz ephemera in there. You can leave it in there, put it throughout the book, whatever you'd like to do with it. Really pretty paper. It's about migration of ducks. More stamping. This says, I loved it when, and that's a Tim Holtz die cut. And then a journaling card. Tuck spot with a little journaling card. So I thought this would be perfect for a planner, or definitely for a diary. There's a little jingle bell down there. Memory keeping. And yeah, I forgot to show you guys, this is my new way of doing the 9x6 journal. Like I said, I am revamping some of my journals and how I do them. And this one actually has like a little bit of a spine. It's still a soft cover, but I love that. Oh, it's about a half inch spine. And there's 2 signatures instead of 1, so it looks a little bit more like a book. And then the last one is called My Little Chick. And here's a cute little girl with these chicks, and there's the buttons. And then I stitched going this way, and I added these wooden beads all the way down, stitched in the signatures that way. My cat is freaking me out. Okay, here's a bag from Junk That Treasures, and then inside there is this beautiful print of a vintage painting from the 1800s. And I'm calling this one My Little Chick because if you'll see on the paper on the front here, it'll say My Little Chick in a few places. I love this paper. Here's a little fabric pocket with some ephemera in it. I think that's Tsunami Rose ephemera. Stamping, and I love this chicken wire paper. Little paper ruffle, more Tsunami Rose. Here's a little flash card. And then flip up, flip down. That's from the Graphics Fairy, the Poultry World. And here's a fabric flip out, and there's a little bead and some lace and cheesecloth, if you can see that. Vintage books. There's some poems and quotes. There's from the Graphics Fairy. Stamping. This is from a book about Mary Had a Little Lamb. And then this is from Junk That Treasures. I turned it into a pocket, and then here's another little Tsunami Rose tag and a little chick tag and some fabric, some roosters. This is Tsunami Rose. We have coffee dyed paper on coffee dyed paper, really cool. There's a little garment pin with a little birdhouse charm, if you can see that. And then we have more paper clips. Can never have too many paper clips. Beautiful paper. There's a little owl and a tulip on this, and it's backed with this beautiful paper. It says good stuff. That's chipboard. And then these little tomatoes. This is a little sticker, but it's a tuck spot here. And then some Tim Holtz paper just tucked in there. Cute little kitten and some chicks there. More pretty paper. And then this says, my favorite discovery today. This here is from the Graphics Fairy. And down here it says, favorite moment today. And here's a little, like, Farmer's Almanac printout from the early 1900s. Washi, and there's some little pigs and chickens and ticket. This is a paint chip card for Granny Smith Apple, and then that little journaling card right there. These are the days to remember. That's a sticker. And then this is a vintage playing card, and the game is called Flinch, and this is from the early 1950s. Stamping, some Tim Holtz card. Here's a little book page. I got baby chickens, and there's a baby pig on the back. So I just added that. And then here's a little brown pocket with some more of a tag collage going on here. And that's the end of that one. So 1, 2, and 3. Again, this one is called My Little Chick. This one is called Make Way for Ducklings, and this one is called Girl's Best Friend. So thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with my boys and all their screams. I love them, but they drive me crazy occasionally. So have a great crafty day.